What's going on, Built by Bai team? Thanks for checking out this week's stretch class. Today we're going to be doing a standing stretch class. It's going to be really quick. We're going to run through a full body. So stay with me and let's get into it. Awesome. So as we're getting into it, I want you to have some type of chair, some type of surface that you can kind of use for balance and to be as a prop for some of these stretches. Because the first one that we're going to do is we're going to start off with stretching out our hamstrings. Again, if you're struggling with balance, I want you to have some type of chair that you can hang on with. But we're going to make sure that we're getting a good stretch in this muscle right here behind the leg. We're going to reach down to our foot, and I want you to get as close to that ankle as you can. If you're having any pain behind your knee, let's just put a slight bend in there and hinge forward. Take some big deep breaths here. Keep your eyes open. Make sure you're balancing, hanging onto something if you're struggling there. And anywhere that you might feel like you're clenching those muscles, make sure you're releasing to be nice and relaxed and maintain that length that we are working to increase within these stretches. Now for this next one, if you're able to reach for your toes, awesome. We're going to stretch out. This is going to be a hamstring and a calf stretch, but you're going to grab those toes and pull them into you. Literally just like slightly pulling on those toes is going to create a good stretch in the calf. And what's nice about this one is we have two different muscles within our calf. We have our gastrocnemius and our soleus. And when we do this variation of stretching out our hamstring and our calf at the same time, it gets both of those, which is great for ankle mobility, any knee pain that we might be having, making sure that we're just keeping these muscles nice and healthy. Now, if you're struggling to grab onto your toe, stay into that pose if you can. I should have prepared better. But I want you to find some type of, you can use a rope, you can use a towel. I'll show you what I would do if I didn't have a stretch strap necessarily. Like a dog leash would be really good. Still, we're going to keep that leg straight and you're just going to pull those toes into you to again create that stretch. We'll hang out here for about 10 more seconds. Big deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And ideally we have a 4-for-4 count. And let it go. Go ahead and switch legs. Same thing. We're going to start off with just our hamstring so you can let that foot relax. Prop your leg up onto your chair, your bench. But again, we want to do all of these stretches from a standing position. Good. Reach as close as you can down to that foot as you're taking big, deep breaths. And again, releasing anywhere that you feel like you're tightening up. Because a lot of times when we do stretch, I know for myself, before I really did stretch consistently, I hated stretching because I'd clench up and it would hurt and my muscles felt so tight. But a lot of it was because I was flexing the muscles. But if you let it relax, you're able to get deeper into that stretch and see better improvements in your flexibility. Go ahead and grab onto that toe. Give it a good little squeeze so that we can stretch out that calf muscle, that gastroc, and our soleus. This is going to be good if you have any plantar fasciitis, release any back pain if you have tightness in your hamstrings. This is just a good one to kind of get the best bang for our buck here. So same thing, if you're struggling, if you can't reach down for your toe, grab some type of towel, a dog leash, a jump rope, anything. I love having a stretch strap. You guys, if you are serious about your health or your flexibility goals, your mobility goals, I'd highly recommend getting a stretch strap. These ones are my favorite. Again, I'm kind of like biased with Stretch Lab, but they're just a higher quality material. They're going to have these loops in between. And so it's going to give you a lot of options when it comes to adding in more stretches to your toolbox here. But same thing, let's give it about 10 more seconds. Big deep breaths. Try to hinge a little bit more into it. One more big breath. Beautiful. Okay. Shake that out a little bit. We're going to work towards these front muscles within our legs. These are our quadriceps. I want you, again, if you struggle with balance, hang on to a chair. I don't want you to be a flamingo out here if you're struggling with balance, but we're going to stretch that quadricep. Hang on to something. I don't have a good enough chair or anything. Grab onto your foot and give us a nice stretch. If you're not feeling much, I want you to stand up nice and tall. Make sure you tuck your pelvis and drive your hip forward. That's going to get us a better stretch throughout this quad. Good. Try to hug it in nice and tight. Goal with this one for optimal range of motion within our, if I could balance, within our knee is getting our heel to our butt. Hang out here for about 10 more seconds. We won't be in this one super long, especially where this is one of our flamingo stretches. Good. Let it go. Let's go ahead and work on this other leg. Grab that foot behind you. Standing up with good posture. Tuck your pelvis under. And what I mean by that, we don't want to be sticking our butt out. We want to make sure that we have, again, just tucking that pelvis under. Grab your foot, stand up nice and tall. And if you need more of a stretch, drive this hip forward. Big deep breaths here. Hang on to a chair if you have one. But again, just super quick class today. Just working on a little bit of full body. Give me 5 more seconds here, 2 more big breaths. Last breath. Beautiful. Okay, shake that out. This next one's just going to be really light. I want us to stand about shoulder width apart. Hands are going to go on our waist. And we're just going to do a nice little twist. Again, you can kind of use your hands to push into your hips to create more of a twist within that torso, but go ahead and look behind you and try to get as much oxygen as you can into this one, especially when we are twisting. It's going to kind of squeeze on the diaphragm a little bit, which can make breathing harder. But the more oxygen we're getting to these muscles, the better. It is so important. So big deep breaths. Try to twist a little deeper into it. Last breath. Let it go. Let's go ahead and turn that other way. Same thing. I like to use my fist, but you can also just use your hands to, again, turn away and create that twist in your torso. But big deep breaths. Maybe you notice some more tightness on one side over the other, which is really common just because muscle memory is a real thing. Especially in our day-to-day life, we typically do stuff one-sided. Like when we're working out, we're really good about working both sides evenly. But when we get into picking up our kiddos or how we're carrying groceries and things like that, one side can definitely be stronger and overcompensate for the other. And over time, that's going to lead to more tightness on one side, reflect to having some pain on certain areas. So it's really important to make sure that we are balancing out our flexibility and trying to improve it more on the side that we struggle. Give me one more big breath here. Beautiful. Okay. This next one, again, we're just working on elongating our torso, going through a side bend. So this one, I want you to stand with a little bit more narrow stance. Have your feet, you can have them touching or like 2 inches apart, really close. We're going to take one arm overhead and we're going to hinge and push our hip out away from the way that we're bending and create a good stretch throughout this side of our body. Big deep breaths here for me. Give me 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Go ahead and shake it out. Now we're going to work on this left side. Hand goes on your hip and reach over with your left hand to your right side, creating that stretch on your left side. And again, I want to make sure we're not hunched over with this one. Stand up nice and tall and really reach directly over to your next shoulder or your right shoulder as you push that hip out. Standing up nice and tall, holding that good posture. About 5 more seconds here. Big deep breaths. Beautiful. Good. Shake that out a little bit. The last one that we are going to work into is going to be a lat stretch, or this could be called standing child's pose. That's the one I was wanting to think of. But again, using that chair, you can also use the wall. If you're using a chair, I'd want you to use a higher one, but you're going to put your hands on whatever surface that you're using. You're going to push those hips back and you're going to push your head through in between your arms. Sorry, I might be yelling into that microphone right now. Good. Kind of looking at it from more of a side view. Again, we're going to keep a slight bend in those knees, push our head through our arms, and creating a good stretch here. You might even, if you have a lot of tightness in your hamstrings, you might even feel it in your legs a little bit. But this is the last one that we're going to finish out with today. So push yourself here. Anywhere that you feel like you're tensing or tightening up, let it go. Release, turn that muscle off so that we can get it to increase its length and just keep improving with our flexibility goals here. Let's go 3 more big breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, 2 more. Last one, biggest one here. Sink a little deeper into it. Let it go. Beautiful. Okay. Well, keeping things really nice and simple today with our standing stretch class, worked a little bit of full body. I hope you guys are finding these classes beneficial. If there's anything that you'd like to see in the future, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. We got lots of awesome resources when it comes to helping you move forward toward your health and fitness goals, whether you need help with nutrition, workouts, flexibility. The Built by Bai team has you covered. So just get involved, and I'm here for you every step of the way. But I'm grateful for you guys. Let's go make it a great week, and I will see you on next week's Bendy Stretch class.